y'all? We back, and I know it's looking like a new setup. I guess not really what you guys used to seeing, but we got through the troubles, and we episode 4 on the come up. And today, I got 3 special guests here. We got my boy PT Ryan, up and coming artist. We got Big Jew, Justice Ferguson, Big Jew, Broken Apparel. We got my boy Rodrick Pleasant, who's one of the top track athletes in California and in the country. So this should be a pretty interesting episode, and I'm excited to get you guys back for this show. So how are you guys doing? How you doing?
Doing well, man.
Doing good. Y'all look
good.
A little tense.
I'm blessed.
But man, let's get into it. So I got y'all here because you guys have been doing you guys' thing over the past year, I would say, and through COVID, everything's been different for a lot of different people. So just to get it started, I'll start with you, Rodrick. But what influenced you, and what talk about your early life, like what made you love track, and how did you get into loving being a track athlete, basically?
How I got into being a track athlete was my brothers. I was like at the age of 4 or 5, watching them run around the track, and I was like, Mom was like, you might as well get out there. So I ended up liking it, but everybody thinks track is my favorite sport, and I really love football. Mm-hmm. But I do it because I decided I ended up being good at it. So
that's dope. And you said you have an older brother, right?
Yes.
And so how was that, like, just growing up and seeing what he's doing on the track? And he played football too, right?
Yeah.
So how was that, just watching him, being a younger brother and just leeching off him? How was that?
It's really different because you see what you shouldn't do. Mm-hmm. He ended up going to SC, played football, he ran track. Mm-hmm. And then I have a middle brother that ran track at Cal. Just hearing their different stories, it helps with my recruiting process. Right. So it's a great experience.
Definitely. And for you, bro, how is it, in the rap game? I know it's different in the music industry, but just talk about what led you to get started into music.
Honestly, it kind of came out of nowhere. I always been writing music since I was just like little. I think 6th grade I started writing. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't the best kid, but so the teachers would just give me time by myself, like not really detention, but just time to yourself. So one time, one of my English teachers gave me a notebook, and I would just start writing little lyrics and stuff and little poems, and then after that it progressed from there. But for music, my brother he just hit me one day. He was like, "We finna go to the studio. Like, you trying to slide?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna come." And the first song ended up being like one of the best. Like, they was like, "Oh yeah, we gonna do something off of this," and it just became something that I love, and it just grew on me, I guess. That's how it started, but it wasn't like intentional. It just happened.
Yeah. Clothing, fashion. What led you to get started in the fashion business?
I don't even think I really planned to get into fashion. It's just like growing up, I see my mom, my sister, my grandma like working 9 to 5s, busting from the morning to the nighttime, and we were still struggling. I'm like, something is wrong. Like, I need to make my own money. I need to do it myself. 9 to 5 is not about to work for me. So I'm like, all right, what I want to do? So last year, my dad ended up having strokes. And it was just all bad. Like, I didn't go to school, it was crazy. So I'm like, all right, I'm finna call this Broken Apparel. But it's a flip on it, though, because it don't really mean you broken. It mean, like, you breaking chains, you breaking generational curses. So I'm like, I'm finna flip this whole name. Everybody finna rock it. Everybody finna wear it. I'm finna make money off of this. And it just took off. Like,
that's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. Would you say that, I like how the meaning of your brand has a different alternative. Like, when you think broken, of course you're gonna think negative, like something bad. But a lot of people ask me that, like, what cohesive, like, what does that really mean? Like, I use that name because it brings unity. When you think about kids, you think about all one together. Sure. So I had a team. I had a 7-on-7 team that was called Cohesive at first, and then it just turned into a clothing line. But I just feel like unity is something that over the past couple of years you see with like Black Lives Matter and everything like that. Something that we all really need, and people don't really. How would I say? People don't really hype it up as much.
You know as we need to.
Yeah. So, but for music and for track and for you guys, like, getting started, you said your brother, but would you say going to the studio the first time and just going, like, that was really made you like love music, or was it like a certain turning point where it's like, this is what I really want to do?
I mean, I think everybody knows, like, music is part of everybody's life. Like, that's every day when you wake up, you listen to music. When you at, like, family functions, you listen to music. At football games, you listen to music. Like, when you working out, music just come. And I think I always loved music, like, listening to music. But when I went to the studio, and it's just like, I don't know, it's a certain type of vibe that you get. And when you just in there by yourself, you locked in, it's like a time where you could just forget about everything talk about how you feel, because I'm not the type of person that'll just tell you how I feel. Like, I'm just not that. I'm just to myself.
Right.
So when I'm in there, I feel like I could just say everything. Like, I'm talking to and people see how, like, where I'm coming from a different point of view, where if we was talking regular, like, you probably wouldn't get that out of me.
Right.
And so it's just like an outlet.
I find that you said that. Do you think that track is also a way to express yourself?
Yeah. Some things is like I really don't talk about it. Me working out helps.
Uh-huh.
It's just working out is a way to clear my mind and get away from everything.
Does doing clothes help you? Because you talk about your dad and everything like that. Does doing clothes help you express or help you feel a different type of way? Like when people buy your product, how does it make you feel? Or what's the feeling that you get when you go to the store and get your hoodies, or somebody buys something? Like what's the feeling that you get?
I feel like it turns something negative into something positive. Like before, when I used to talk about my dad, it used to get me super emotional. Now I'd be like, y'all, this what happened, this and that. Like I'm happy about it because I see everybody rocking my stuff, even if they don't know the meaning. Just them supporting me, it mean a lot. Like the black community, we need support, we need togetherness. Like it's major, we need that. So to see everybody supporting, I mean, even your brand, everybody brand that we know about, it's just different. Like it make you feel good about yourself. Like, all right, I'm doing something nobody else is doing.
Yeah, when I made this show, I really like to conversate with people and get to know their point of views and everything like that. So I think this show is really helps me get to know everybody, and I feel like hearing you guys' stories and hearing everybody's stories from LA is really inspiring to me. And I feel like that's what pretty much motivates me to keep going. Like I hear that story, I hear your story, I hear how going to the studio is a freedom of expression for you. And sometimes I feel like just sitting down and talking to you guys is something that I need to keep me going.
It's therapeutic.
Yeah.
Sure.
But talk about the early stages. We talked about that. But what was that first turning point? That first moment where you guys was like, okay, like I might go real far with this. Like what? And you can start with you. Like, was it the first song? Was it Brighter Days or something? Like what made you was like, oh yeah, like we really about to take off?
It was Brighter Days for sure.
Why Brighter Days?
Like, I think it was like everybody knew in my circle that it wasn't like just a regular song. Like it's actually all right. I'm not a cocky at all. I'm not that type of person. But I was like, yeah, it's pretty smooth. But then we posted it on YouTube, and then the views started coming in, and I'm like, okay, 10,000. That's crazy to me because I just got 1,000 followers, so I don't really have a big background. Like I don't have a big. It's just like we starting it from the ground up.
Right.
So when it hit 20. And 30 and 40, I'm waking up, it's like 55. I'm like 55,000 people that see me. Like that's crazy to me. And then not even that, just other people that's in the music industry that start hitting me up.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, okay, now people actually they see I got something. Like they see I got potential. So it kind of like motivated me to keep going because like I said, music just happened. Like it wasn't something like, yeah, I want to go to the studio. Like I wanted to go, but my brother just told me to come, and I just went, and it just happened. But I think that was definitely the turning point when people just started recognizing it, and just it's really I'm telling my story like in my own way, just like how she do her clothing brand. She telling her story like how she said broken apparel. Like I mess with that heavy for real because everybody go through a lot of trials and tribulations, and they don't get to talk about it. And this is how she expressing it. When he run on the track, that's how he expressed it. Like when you win that race, you feel me? That's how you him like you him.
I would say
for real. That's how you express yourself.
What led to like the creation of that song? Because that's really I listen to that song a lot. Like what led to Brighter Days? Like what inspired you to make that song?
I think some early losses in my life. I lost my uncle. Rest in peace. Just natural causes. I lost both my uncles on both sides of my family, and that kind of really. It hit me. It hit home. I'm not even gonna lie. It hit home for me. And I'm not the type of person to just, like I said, talk to you about my feelings. So one time I was in my notes and I was just writing, just thinking about, just praying for brighter days. Like for me, hopefully it's gonna get better. I know it's gonna get better, but you gotta go through losses to even learn how to overcome that. Because I think people that go through losses in life are like the most successful people because they learn how to take. Like doing that is easy. So once you get to like a higher platform and you go through different stuff, it's like I already done went through the worst, so I'm gonna be good in the long run. For sure.
And for you, like was it a certain event or a certain race or something like that? What was it?
I felt like I've always been all right, but I remember the day, June 26th of this year, was the day that I felt like it was my coming out party. I was complaining about COVID, me not being able to run, me not being able to play sports, and I was just like, I felt like the time was getting short. Seeing everybody else getting offers and everything, so it's just like, I was like, I know I can do it, but June 26th, big track meet, state meet, I ended up running the 1 and 2. I ended up running against Damani Jackson, one of the top players in the country. Right. He ended up beating me. I ran 10:32 as a sophomore, breaking the sophomore state record. And then I was so mad at that race. I hated losing to him. But I had the 200 like an hour later. Ended up running 20.5, breaking Michael Norman's national sophomore record. And it was just like ridiculous. And I actually got to talk to him. So it was like, I was there when he broke it, so it was like, Jesus, like, this is ridiculous. And after all that, like, everything, I blew up. Like, I ended up getting like 2,000-3,000 followers on Instagram. I got like 12 plus offers the next week.
Oh yeah.
So it's been a crazy experience.
How would you describe? Cause you're 16, right?
Yes.
How would you describe? Cause I'm athletic.
What?
I play, but I don't understand. Like, describe that feeling, like you being a sophomore and holding those records. Like, just what's that like?
It's a dream come true because like I've been running all my life and I've been a good athlete, but I would always take like 5th, 6th at JOs, and me finally breaking and doing what I felt like I could have done. It was just like eye-opening. Yeah. So I'm excited about this upcoming season. So it should be really, really, really exciting.
For you, what was that turning point? Maybe someone that bought a piece of clothing or your first couple of sales. Because we always see, photo shoots and always updated apparel. So what was that turning point for you?
I don't know if y'all know, but I'm going to Clark. I haven't been out. Well, I've been to Atlanta, of course, but I haven't been at my school yet due to COVID. But I don't know. I went out there one time with my dad, and it was like in the beginning stages of me doing my clothing. And we were at like the mall. I don't know nobody out there. I'm just going to school there. I don't know anybody yet. We were at the mall, and people were like, I'm trying to buy clothes in there, and people coming up to me like, oh, where you get your jacket? Where you buy it at? I'm like, what you mean where I buy it at? I made it. What you talking about? So that happened. Then I had came back to LA. I was out here with my mom, and a girl that seen me at the mall, she had asked for my Instagram. I didn't know how many followers she had. She got a lot of followers. Her name is Bree. We real cool now. She's going to LSU. She bought one of my jackets, and I just started getting all these out-of-state orders, Louisiana, Chicago, Atlanta. I'm like, so I'm going to the post office every 2-3 days. I'm like, hold on, I like this. So I really couldn't work from that point because my business became my job. Like, it was no time to work because I was always doing something for Broken. So I'm just like, all right, I could do this. Then my sister started coaching like a competition team. They whole cheer squad wear my stuff on their competitions. That's like 60 girls. I'm like, what? We popping out. I'm like, okay. So I don't know. I think it's just the love for me. Like, it's not necessarily a person or something that happened. It's just like, to see people rocking your stuff is just crazy. Like, it's just, I don't know. The love that I get, it's nothing compared to it.
Yeah, I would say, I would just say, like, it's that, I think for this show, what really, I don't know what it is, but I think it's different. Like, a lot of people don't really expect a 17-year-old to have a podcast like that, like this, sure. Especially, it's a lot of people that do podcasts, especially with COVID. I've seen a ton of people that start podcasts, but for me to just do this and then I go out and be like, oh yeah, you got that show, or like that. I feel like I'm like an actor for sure, like a TV personality. I don't know what it is, but I just feel like it was a turning point where I think I did episode 2. And I had Tone and Austin and Sophia, and I think that episode really popped it off because it's like he's at SC, and her clothing brand is really big. Like, she's always gone, and Sophia can really cook. Yeah. So I think
Sophia,
everybody.
Let me say that right now.
Hey,
Sophia
good. Hey, she can cook. I need some more of the cinnamon toast waffles, but I think everybody just really likes the mixture of different categories, and everything kind of relates into black culture or culture in general. So I think that was a turning point, which is everybody was just like, man, like, you know, you 17, you got to show that focuses on inner city LA. Like, that's one thing I wanted to make important. Like, LA is like this, but it's also like this. Yeah. Everybody does something. We're all young. We're doing this at a very young age. So imagine 5 years when, like we was talking about this in the car, you think about the Olympics, like stuff like that. Like, you go. It was a turning point, like, which is everybody was coming up to me. But you know, we've been in COVID. We're still in the pandemic. How has COVID impacted you positively and negatively? Because I know it's had a mental toll on everybody, but I also know that it could also benefit us. You know, when we were stuck in the house, we had a lot of people that was looking for stuff to do or you know, looking for stuff to start. So, like for you in music, I'm sure you had a lot of free time to go to the studio and write your notes. So how did COVID affect you in a positive way and a negative way?
It was really positive, actually. Just because we weren't at school. I mean, it's kind of like good and bad, but I got all this time, free time, so I play football too, because a lot of people don't know that.
That's my teammate.
That's my teammate. Put that out there, DDP. But, but yeah, music definitely gave me an outlet, because I think a lot of people during the pandemic, they didn't really, a lot of people did, like, have a good outcome, but a lot of people didn't. And it's sad, like, just really young black people just getting killed. Like, for real, really, it's just the truth. Like, we don't talk about it. And it's crazy because I see people, like, when they go to funerals and stuff, it's like we praise the death of a person, but it's like, what are we doing? Like, how are we gonna change this? Like, we're not really doing nothing to change it. And that's why I kind of like want to put in my music too, like just try to change stuff. Or even if I can't do it through music, do it through stuff like this, where I could just change. Even one thing you can say could really change a person's mindset and kind of wake them up. Like, this is real. Like, death is real. Like, your life is really special. It's like it's delicate. Yeah. Like, even to be born, you just blessed to be born. Yeah. Like, because a lot of people don't. But I think my music was
we're gonna edit that out.
Music was a good outlet for me through the pandemic. It gave me time to, like I said, just get away from the world and just tell my story. But the negative part was, I think I got me so into music, I wish I could have, like, it was bad because of football, because we didn't have a season. Right. But I think it gave me more time to spend with family. Mm-hmm. So it was a good thing. Like, I don't know, it's like good and bad, but I don't like to really focus on the bad stuff. I like to just find the positive stuff out of things, so I could just, you feel me, not get stuck on what's the bad, what's the worst. Just make, because you know where we come from in LA, you can make the worst and make it something great.
Yeah.
So I think even with track, like, it kind of humble you down. So now we didn't go to school, we didn't have a lot of meets, or we didn't have a lot of games. It kind of said, like, okay, now I got a time to focus on myself, focus on my body. What do I got to do to improve? Right. And even with your brand, like, what do I got to do to make this really take off? And it give you time to double down and work on it. So it was good. I like to say it was a good pandemic.
For you, did the sales? Do you think the sales, like, did COVID really help the sales? And, you know, because I know a lot of people was at the house and it was like, some people were still going out though, but it was like, man, you know, they probably wanted to buy more clothes. A lot of online shopping might have went up and stuff like that. So did the brand help you during COVID? Like, was it more positive or was it more negative?
Well, I started like during COVID, so I really don't know what it would have been like before. Right. So for me, it's been good because I started it during COVID, so I don't know no different. I don't even, you know. But I mean, I honestly feel like if I would have started it before, COVID would have still helped, because with school, I ran track, I did cheer, I was in ASB, I had a full schedule. There's no way that I would have been able to complete the amount of orders that, you know, I'd be getting. So it's just like, I'm kind of thankful for it because it did what it needed to do. So
yeah, and I know it was a bummer for you having to wait. Track, all the seasons got pushed back to the spring. It's kind of different. Now you got Because was football and track at the same time?
Yeah.
Partially,
like the same time. Yeah, like one started. So
When
you didn't really have a break.
I had a week break.
Yeah. So how was that? You know, like. Because I see y'all all the time training and stuff like that, even when it was no say until, you know, what was going to happen. So just how was that, like, just waiting and finally getting that chance? Like, what was that during that time?
I actually felt like COVID, it was bad, but it was also a blessing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, me being able to work out with our trainer and networking, I've made so many NFL and professional athletes that I'm really, really close with now. So it wasn't a bad thing. But I feel like I really wish I could have had a full season.
Yeah. You would have just shown more.
Shown more.
You had. But, I mean, you could say that. I mean, I see why you're saying it was good, though, because it did give you more time to, like, train and get together.
Get to know people.
It could be one of those situations where it's like you didn't have that much time to train, and you probably don't get the records without that extra time of training.
Yeah, but I felt like I was peaking at the time that statement. I was dropping steadily. Like I ran 10:47, then I ran 10:46, then I ran 10:32, and then we usually have 2 more meets after that. So I felt like I really was like I could have did something special as a sophomore, but it was. I
mean, you did a lot though.
Yeah,
that's a lot. But
I felt like it could have been real crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I would say for me, like, COVID is, I did a lot. It was a lot of stuff I had to, because I had a lot of time on my hands, so I finished school in 3 years. So, you know, I had a lot, and then we didn't play football, so it was like I wasn't going to play football no more. It was a lot. It took a mental toll on me, definitely. I wasn't doing the show as much. I had to take a break from the show. Football was like this, and then went like this, and then I was doing school, and then I was traveling. It was just a lot of stuff that was going on, so the mental toll was definitely tough on me, but I would say as far as networking and stuff and like having the show was really what saved me. Being able to get on Sports Illustrated is something that a lot of people don't really get, especially at my age.
I was like, I know him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're 17, like it's only a few people that I only remember, and I know Eli, you probably say this, and I think bro over there probably says, but the only person I remember that was my age that was on Sports Illustrated was LeBron. When he was coming out of high school, Sebastian Telfair. I think those are the only 2 people. So for me to at least get on the daily cover, like, it was weird because the day before, I was talking to my girlfriend about this, but the day before on my daily cover, Joel Embiid and Seth Curry and the 76ers had made the daily cover before, and then I was the next day. So for me to be after NBA superstars and the next day at 6 o'clock in the morning, it's like, bro, I'm all over the country.
Did you know? Did you know it was going to happen?
Yeah, I knew it was going to happen, but I didn't know that I was going to be the daily cover until 9 o'clock the night before. So I thought I was going to be I just thought I was going to be in the magazine.
Right.
But for me to be on the front of the magazine and then the article be in the magazine was like,
That's real.
it's different. Like, it's different. So it was just crazy. I think COVID really helped me with that in terms of just me getting out there some more and building my brand, because it's a lot of stuff, you know, that I really started. And I think it just made me focus more, be more locked into finishing things. But we talk about the love, being from inner city LA. What is it like, you know, receiving love from a lot of people? Some people that you don't even know. It's a lot of people that sometimes you walk in the mall, walk in the store, and be like, hey, you know, I got a piece of that. I didn't know that was about you. I got that as a gift. Or, you know, I see you on YouTube and I see you. So how is that like, just receiving love from everybody and being a well-known name from where you come from? You can start this one off.
Well, me traveling a lot, like when I go different places, I always say this: people elsewhere are so nice. Like, they come up to you, they talk to you. In LA, you stare at somebody too long, they like, what's up?
Yeah,
like, what you
trying
to do? Like, you stare at somebody somewhere else, they like, hey girl, you like, hey girl.
Yeah.
So when people do actually give you love out here, it's just different. Like, it's because it never really happens. Like, it's always some hater stuff going on, or somebody don't like somebody, or you go somewhere and you with your friend, but your friend don't like it. Like, it's a lot that come with being from LA. It's good and I love the city, but it's a lot of downfalls from being from here. Like, it's crazy. So for people to show love, like, that's my main thing, and that's the thing that I'm most proud about. Like, it's crazy, especially the people that don't know you. Like, that's the best feeling to me. Yeah. That's the best.
You being an artist and, you know, constantly going up and getting to where you want to get, like, one day you're gonna be at that mogul status where you can't even go out, you can't go to the clubs, and you can't go out if you don't got security with you. But how, you still young, so just how is it, when you get on the gram or you see your YouTube and people in the comments like, yeah, this dude hard, and just how is that, getting the love from everybody?
It motivates me for real, like just to keep going, because now I got people that actually like. It's like when you do something and you lazy about something, it's like it's disrespectful to somebody that actually
want to put in the work, yeah.
Like want to put in the work, people that actually believe in you, like you letting them down. So it's like now it's like I got something. Okay, I got a little fan base now. So people like my music, so now I got to keep going. But I think it hit me when I went to Fridays, and the waitress I got to take out with my mom, and I go in there. I'm like, yeah, for her name. She was like. You do music? I was like, I'm like,
what you mean?
Yeah, I do music, but like, it was just like this happened when I was probably like 50,000, like just about to hit that. She was like, yeah, I seen your music. My brother was listening to it on
I was
on
just
YouTube.
gonna tell you, my boyfriend be listening to it all the time.
Yeah, see,
that's
all
what's
the
up.
time.
But yeah, she told me that, and I was like, I'm like, Mom, this girl just said she listens to my music. Like, it was weird to me because I'm just like, in my head, I'm nobody. Like, I'm just a kid from LA. But I think that's when it hit me like, wow, people actually listen to me. People actually like my music. So that's for sure. That's a good, like she said, it's a good feeling.
Yeah.
I can't describe it.
Yeah, I know you be at the track meets, they be like, oh my God, bro, that's bro, like, we gotta run against it. I know they be looking, cause I ran track my freshman year and my sophomore year. I was slow, but I ran track, and I just know, like, you be on the track, you be like, man, we gotta run against, bro. Like, I don't know how this
You
I gotta run against this dude. Like,
you get on the block,
yeah,
like,
but how is that? Like, you be at the meets and you see everybody. Like, you run against Damani, you run against everybody else. So how is that when people really know, like, this kid's legit?
I felt like it really hit home is like after the meet. Like, it wasn't even literally like 30 minutes after the meet. We went out to eat as a team, and this whole family comes up to me and asks us for my autograph at the time. So I was like,
Wow.
I was like, this is crazy. But it was eye-opening. I was like, I ended up starting thinking, I was like, me playing football, me getting offers, it's going to come down to my senior year, like, do I want to go pro if I run that fast, or do I want to go to college? Did you see the boy just, that's 17, just ran for the U.S.?
Yeah, right.
So it's crazy. But I don't want to start thinking about it just yet. I'll be telling my mom, like, we're gonna see when the time comes.
Take your time, man. That's dope. I would say a lot of people don't know this story, but it's actually happened pretty recently. This is before I came back to practice. But I was done playing football, and I didn't really tell nobody. I kind of just wanted to keep it low key. I was finishing school, so I finished school, but I didn't really tell anybody I was done. And around here, it's a lot of stuff around, like restaurants and stuff, whatever. But I have a neighbor. His name's Big Mike. Shout out to Big Mike. I never talked to Big Mike since, I would say, it was like a month ago this happened. But I was walking outside, and I was about to go. But we was going to sky pool party. We was going to a pool party.
Okay.
This was like a couple weeks ago. So I was going to a pool party, and I was waiting for the homegirl to come get me. And he was like, man, your name Josh? I'm like, yeah. Cause I see him all the time, I just say what's up to him, but I, don't know his name. He was like, man, your name Josh? I'm like, yeah, man. He came up to me and shook my hand. He was like, man, I just want you to know I'm real proud of you, bro. Like, all the stuff that you was doing, man. I seen the article, this and that. And I'm just like, man, thank you. I didn't want to tell nobody I was done, but, he was just like, man, keep going. Like, you really doing your thing, man. College is going to come get you. Just keep doing what you're doing, man. I like to, you inspiring everybody to keep going. And I like that type of stuff. That inspires me to keep going.
Yeah, for sure.
Then the next day, I go out to eat with my dad. This is when I decided to go back to practice. So we went out in the morning. It was the morning. Went out to breakfast at Pan's, whatever. And I'm walking out, and I had on my A&T shirt because I want to go to A&T. Like, that's one of my schools. North Carolina A&T is one of the schools I want to go. So I had on my shirt, and the dude was like, "You go there?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm trying to though, whatever." He was like, "Yeah, they got a cool track team there. The track stuff. They had the athletes that was qualifying and stuff like that." He was like, "Yeah, they got a cool track team." I'm like, "Yeah." He was like, "You play football?" Like, yeah, I ain't say nothing. I'm like, yeah, I play football. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I have to do a little something, whatever. He was like, man, keep going, man, whatever. Keep doing this. And he didn't know what school I went to. He was like, man, keep going, bro. Like, you doing your thing. He was like, where you at? I'm like, I'm at Dorsey, whatever. He was like, man, I'm gonna come check you out. Then my dad had left his AirPods in the restaurant. I go back in there, I walk back out. Elderly couple, my dad knew him. He was like, man, you gonna play ball, man? What's going on? Like, you know, want to come to the games, man? We see what you was doing. So I'm just like, I gotta play, bro. Like, it's a sign, bro. Like, it just happened back to back, and it just the encouragement, you know, people was giving to me, like, from older people. Like, these are people that's in their 30s and 40s. These are adults. So for them to, you know, tell me that they was proud of me, and, you know, I don't see these people every day. It's just random black people at the restaurant and in the front just telling me that they're proud of me, and then, you know, I just like being a role model. So all the youth, everybody we know coming up, just, you know, they always watching and stuff. So I just like how, you know, they always show me love and they always support me and stuff like that.
Because they end up wanting to be like you.
Yeah, want to be like, you know, I can't not give up or show them, you know, something different. They watching me. They want to do what I'm doing. Some people want to start a podcast. Some people want to start their goals. Some people want to, like, you know, I can't not be a role model for them. So just the love I give, man, that's what keeps that kind of keeps me going. But the thing is also the haters. Like, how do you deal with the negatives? Because, you know, it's gonna be a lot of people gonna be like, man, he weak. You know, he ain't really that fast. It's gonna be a lot of haters. But how have you dealt with that over the time? Because I know that can be a downfall for a lot of people. They get too much into the negativity and stuff, the haters. So how do you deal with the haters? I know it's kind of hard for you, you know, being everybody got their different
everybody
opinions.
got something to say.
So just how's that for you?
It's different for me because when I make music for myself. Like, I'm not making music just like for somebody else to like it. If they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. So it's kind of like that give me an advantage because it's like I just make music just because I love make music. So if people don't really, if they not tapped in with it like how I'm tapped in, it doesn't really faze me.
Well, I got a question, not to cut you off, but how many views did Friday Days get?
It's at 55,000 right
And then how many views did Next Up get?
It's at 18,000.
Did you ever read the comments and like?
Yeah, I did.
What's the one comment where you was looking at? You was like, damn, like
it wasn't even on YouTube. I got posted on my mixtapes.
Yeah.
And that got 35,000 views on Instagram. But there was somebody in there. He was like, "It's a fake no cap." I was like,
Wow.
But that's the thing. Though, I was telling my boys this about you, and I was like, he got a different sound.
Yeah.
And like from LA, you already know, like West Coast, everybody's so hyped up, or it's the chill type beat. Everybody want to hop on Detroit beat, like, you know, like everybody got that one flow. Nobody. That's why I really like his music, because nobody from here sounds like him. Like, it's a different sound. Like, it's just different. Like, no, I can't think of anybody else that's from LA that's big right now or that's up and coming that sounds like him. So I would see why he'll probably get the most hate, but it's good music. Like, it's hard.
I hate
it's
the
just
people
different.
That behind the meme pages, like, bro, like, it's
Yeah,
not,
the fake page,
like,
user 153.
Like, come on, bro.
And those was the people that was really commenting on
The
the
bots. Remember the bots? Like, yeah,
like people was like, he's a fake no cap. This don't even sound like LA music. Just stuff like that.
Exactly.
But
People not.
I get what they saying, because like when you think of LA, you think of Bino, you think of Blast, you think of Nip, you think of just people like that. And like you said, like now it's new generation of people. Like shout out to RJ Taliban, like how they
Taliban.
But just stuff like that's kind of like new right now. But I don't know, it's just different.
It's different, yeah. And a lot of people aren't gonna, especially from LA. They're kind of expecting you to sound like
a certain
way. So for you to just step out and be different, I think is what's gonna take you a long way. But yeah, I just wanted to know if it was any comments.
There's definitely some comments. It made me laugh though. It wasn't. And my cousin over there, they defend me in the comments like you got look at your lace front. It's jokes, but it's all love though at the end of the day.
Yeah, how do you do it? Because in the clothing line, it's a lot of people that started brands. It's a lot. So how do you deal with the negative? Like somebody may not, how do you deal with the hate? Because I know for clothes, like I'm not really a person, like when I do clothes, I'm not really a person that like tries to go all out. If I grab something that I like, and you might like it. It turns out a lot of people just like different color stuff, but I feel like you take your clothing line more seriously than I do, and you put a lot of thought into it. So how do you deal with the hate? Because not everybody's gonna like that you dropping a different color hoodie or a different combo, or trying to step out your show. So how do you deal with that?
Well, my mom told me, like when I was younger, like if you do something, they gonna talk about you. Oh, she thinks she all that, this and that, third. If you don't do it, they gonna talk about you. Oh, she ain't doing nothing. She's sitting around all day. So just do it, because they gonna talk about you regardless. Like you said with your music, if you sound the same, they gonna be, oh, he sound just like every LA rapper. If you sound different, where he from, why he think he better, it's the same. So you might as well do it. get what you want to get out of it and let them talk. Like, I mean, they ain't paying your bills at the end of the day, so make your money, do what you got to do what you love, and keep it pushing. Like, it really don't faze me. I don't know. Like, before I started my brand, I was looking at everybody else's brand. I'm like, all right, she do it this way, he do it this way. I'm like, all right, how can I do something different but still be myself? Like, I don't want to be like nobody else. So that's why I dropped the graphic hoodies. But like I said it on my spam the other day, I didn't even come up with the graphic hoodie. I wasn't even finna take the credit for that. Giovanni did that whole thing, and people started getting them, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to take the credit for this. If I want to let him have his time to shine. So everybody started getting different colors and all type of stuff. I'm like, okay, I don't even have a graphic hoodie myself. That's how many clothes I make throughout the week. I have 2 pieces of my own clothing. Like, I don't. It's literally no room, so it's just like, it is what it is. If you gonna hate, that's on you. I'm chilling.
Have you encountered anybody that says something? Have you encountered like somebody was like, damn, this ugly? Like, have you ever had like any? Like that?
bro at the Dirt concert. I'm out, right? This girl walked up to me. She's like, hey. I'm like, hey. She's drunk. She's like, hey. I'm like, hey, girl. She's like, where'd you get your hoodie? I'm thinking, bro. When I say this, y'all finna be like, never. I'm thinking she about to compliment me. I'm like, oh, I made it. And then she was like, that is the weakest hoodie I've ever. I didn't even know what to say. I'm like, I just kind of walked in. I'm like, all right, it's cool. But I mean, it made me laugh. Like I said, people gonna hate. They gonna, if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. I mean, I like my brand. Other people like my brand. So it is what it is.
What about
she killed my vibe. I was just like, I don't even want to see Dirk no more after that. Like,
what? Especially being an athlete, it's you take a lot of constructive criticism. Sometimes not constructive. Sometimes it's just flat out criticism. But being on the track, being in football, what's it like with the hater? Because you blew up faster than I've seen a lot of people blow up within the span of
12 offers the next week. That's crazy.
He blew up faster than a lot of people I've seen blow up since the whole recruiting anything like that. 2-sport athletes. So how was that? Because you gonna have the fake pages that's like, oh, he not better than 4-star from Washington or something like that. So how is that? And then you deal with writers and 24/7 Sports, and you have a rough day. They could write a whole bad article about you, and you run a slower time. Oh, we like, how was that? Dealing with that, because you up there now.
I actually, at first, I didn't know how to deal with it because everything happened so fast. So I was getting a lot of love, a lot of hate. It was like, why hasn't he been blown up since if he was this good? But I was like, I've never played on the circuit. I didn't play SYFL. I played Pop Warner. Track world isn't mixed with the football world, especially in youth sports. So, with that being said, all that coming together during high school, I blew up, and just literally like a couple weeks ago, I felt like we were family, and they ended up talking to some of my family. They didn't know that was really my family, and they ended up telling me that they were saying he's not even that good. I don't know why he blew up. He shouldn't have blown up. Like, I was just like, I really thought we were family. So it's crazy to know that your inner circle, some people that's in your inner circle really be hating on you.
Yeah. I think for me it's weird because it's a lot of. There's gonna be a lot of people that want to be in your position that unfortunately can't or don't understand.
What comes with
it.
it.
And it's like, because some people. But I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was like, she was like, why are you stressed out? Like, you look like you have like a good life, whatever. Like, why are you stressed out? I was like,
you don't know.
You don't know, bro. Like, you don't know the grind, like what it's like, especially doing stuff like this, and you gotta go to practice, and then you gotta, it's a lot of stuff that I'm trying to create. So, it's a lot of people that's not really gonna understand what you're doing and why you're doing it, and it's not for them to. They'll understand when you're finally at the top. And I was talking to somebody about that the other day. It's not for them to understand. So I just deal with the haters I just keep elevating. Whatever I can do, if I can just show, it's going to shut a lot of people up. So once they see the show and everybody knows, like, I'm finally there again, I'm finally back, it's going to make a lot of haters just disappear or fall back into the clouds. But who influenced you guys the most, or who have you guys looked at recently where it's just like, they keep you going, family member or another person in your craft? Who is it for you that may have influenced you to, just keep going? Or who are somebody that you look up to in your craft?
Really, the people that keep me going are like just my family and my friends. Just people that just keep it real with me. Like if this sound weak, they let me know. Like this not it. Or if this, just anybody that's really in my circle that actually care about me, they tell me the truth. Yeah. And I think that's what I need. Like especially in music. Like, or even in your clothing brand. Like if your homegirl say, yeah, I'm not really messing with that. Like they keeping it real with you. Like,
right.
Like that's just how it is. But my like the person that I like looked up to was, and a lot of people like, why you look up to him? Because you don't really sound like him. Because they expect the person that you look up to in music, you trying to be like him. Right. But Nip was like the person that I listen to every single day. Like, and that's when my god brother started me off with, like, just listening to when we working out, they playing like just old Nip. And just the message that he gave before he left. He gave a lot of jewels before and it's weird because I look at interviews and stuff like, so much knowledge. He gave so much, like, for real, like in a real way with clothing brands.
The crazy part is if you don't listen to it, it'll just fly right by you.
Yeah.
For real. Like, it's just something that's like you said, if you don't listen to it, it'll just go past you. But he said a lot of stuff that really motivated me for football, for music, like getting up. I got to go to the studio late. I'm doing a 12-hour session. Next morning I got practice. Like, I gotta really be locked in, and it's like it's not hard for me because I love what I'm doing. Like I love playing football, I love making music, so it's not hard. But yeah, I would say that's the person I looked up to. But the people that motivate me are definitely my family and friends, keeping it real.
Yeah, you got a clothing line, so you know it's different. A lot of people are in competition. A lot of people want to help each other. How was that? Like who influenced you? Who's somebody that you really look up to when it comes to the craft? You know, being in fashion.
Honestly, like I said before, it's no specific person or group or nothing like that. I just got love and respect for the people that have love and respect for me. Like, if you showing love, I'm gonna show love right back, because I feel like that's an area as the black community we just lack in. Like, it's like you almost taught to be in like survival mode all the time. You don't even think about showing love as your first instinct. For example, you walk into a party, you looking to, you know, as you should, but you look at who here. And then thinking about what's gonna happen once you're there. You don't think, oh, we at the party, we finna turn up. That's not what you think about. Right. Like when you go to parties now, you automatically think something bad is gonna happen, or it's not, oh, I'm going to the party to have fun and show love with my people. It's not like that no more. So me, I'm really big on love. I'm really big on support. If you supporting me, if you showing love to me, I'm gonna do the same right back. Like, it's really my family and friends, just like he said. They the people that love and support me the most. So it's the same with me to them. Yeah,
and I've been seeing you. When you guys share the FFG, SFG pipeline is long, but I seen you get closer to Adoree over the past year, whatever. I always see, and your brother, I watch videos of you guys like racing on the track or whatever it was, and Adoree was there. So, are those like two of the people, a few people that you look up to or that influence you to keep going?
Huge role models. I actually, over COVID, me and Adoree got super close. Yeah. He's like a big brother. He tells me what I shouldn't do, what I should, and how to succeed. Yeah. The funniest thing is that I remember we were playing the game and he just went off on me because I did something stupid, and he was like, "Come on, bro, we know better than this." Yeah. And it's just knowing that you have somebody that's gonna really help you out there. Yeah. So he's one of my biggest role models.
Yeah. I would say for me, family and friends, of course, influenced me, but I would also say, like, I take a lot of bits and pieces. I don't know what it's been, but I would say, like, since COVID started, I'm not a big TV person. I can't really watch TV, so all I do is watch podcasts. Like, I watch $1 Million Worth of Game. I watch I'm Athlete. I watch, I don't know why I'm playing. Anything there's one with, like, Gilbert Arenas.
What's like, the one with LeBron?
Oh, yeah, the shop. Yeah, like, I watch all that stuff. So I think just watching, that's kind of where, I'm not even gonna lie, that's kind of where I got this idea from. Just having a whole bunch of people from different like categories and stuff. They do different crafts and just send them down to one spot telling their story. I kind of got that from them, and they really like, I feel like the shows just really influenced me, and people like that, like Maverick Carter and stuff like that, like innovators, they really influenced me to do stuff like this because it's different. Like,
you never know, like they get so much hate and so much love. Yeah. But you don't know their story.
Their story, right? You're not really. This is like when people who don't know you kind of get to know you per se. Like when you go out, you be like, oh yeah, like, oh, you like such and such, I like such and such too. Like, this is a real like look into your story. Like, a lot of people kind of judge people off of what they look like or how much success they got. Like, oh, he got all these, he probably stuck up. Like, he probably be just all over everybody. Like, oh, you don't got no offers. Like, I can't. Like, no, like, he's just like you. He just better or does more his craft than a lot of others.
What Shakari said, she was like, I'm just like you. I just run
fast. Yeah, exactly like that. So I feel like I just take bits and pieces from everybody else, other influencers and stuff like that who do podcasts. But yes, it's been a lot of influence from them. But pretty much to wrap it up, man, what are you guys looking forward to in the future? We almost done with this year. Got a couple months left in this year. For you, we talk about it a lot. Like, I always ask me, like, bro, when we gonna drop next? Like, when the album coming out? Like, what's going on? So, what are your future goals for the rest of the year or going into the new year? What do you guys got planned? And just tell me about future goals.
Just for the rest of the year, just to really bring people closer. Cause I'm not gonna lie. Recently, my friend Damo, like, I'm not gonna sit here and act like that was just my main homie. Like, no, but the time that I did know him was like, he was a good person. Yeah. And the way that he got killed was just, he was on the road like just me. He was younger than me. He was 16, doing the same thing I'm doing, just trying to tell a story through music. Right. And just to bring people closer, like, I think that's the main thing. Cause there's too many people, like again I was talking about earlier, there's too many people that's just dying for no reason. Just especially like this young. We so used to death this young, and we got so much more life that we could live, and it's like it's becoming a norm, and that's what I like. I want to change that. That's one of my main goals. Just change how people think. Don't be so quick to anger. Like, just chill. Like, we could talk about it like how we doing now. Just if you listen to a person and they saw it, and you tell your side, y'all gonna come to
change a lot
to an agreement or just
agree to disagree.
Yeah, at least y'all hear each other right. Instead of just resorting to I'm gonna just go slide on them. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Like, just change as much as I can. Change people that do think like that, just to change it a little bit.
I like that. I like how you said that your main goal wasn't it's bigger than music. Yeah. I feel like you can bring people together through music, but your main goal was to bring people together. How can we come to an understanding? A lot of people that's very big of you. I appreciate that because that's different. When I asked you main goals, I can't even lie, I was so small minded myself. I was thinking about you guys' personal goals, but that's different. That kind of caught me off guard. So I like that. What would you say is for you?
Well, like I said, my brand name is Broken, so I'm about to move. I move on Thursday to Atlanta. I'm about to move. I just want to expand my brand. I just want to break all the curses in my family, all the chains. I want to get my degree. I want to get a career. Like, I want to be great. So I'm going to just keep pushing till I get there, make sure my family's straight. I'm just trying to eat, for real.
Yes, sir. And, well, you got junior year, senior year. You got a lot of time. Season about to start for you in football. What would you say is just, you looking to break some more records? Like, what's going on with you, man?
I just want... Like, I want to change the generation. Like, a lot of football players don't run track. Like, I want the youth to start running track. That is a big thing for me, because I know how much it's helped me. And one kid that I really, really, really support is a kid out of Long Beach, Lil P. He plays football, he runs track, but he's a phenomenal track star. So I show as much love as I can to him, but because I know he's next up.
Right.
So I feel like he can change it too.
Right.
So that's the big thing I want to help the next generation.
Yeah, that's dope, bro. I would say, for me, I have actually something that's dropping tomorrow. So I'm not gonna say nothing yet. I got a lot of stuff going on with Cohesive. It's now in the Cohesive group. I just got my LLC for it, so it's locked in now. But I have some stuff going on tomorrow, considering NIL, the NIL stuff for college athletes and high school athletes also. So stay on the lookout for that tomorrow around the afternoon. But wrap it up, man. What's one piece of advice you would give to somebody that's in your craft? I was gonna ask. I'm glad you said that because that was my next question. But to wrap it up, man, what's a piece of advice you would give to up and coming artists? What's a piece of advice you would give to up and coming athlete and somebody that's wanting to start in fashion? What's a piece of advice you would give to them?
I would say to pray and just never give up. Like, as long as you keep God by your side, you're going to be straight. Like, in anything you do. Even if, you know how people get into something, like, for example, he said that first track was just kind of like, all right, I mean, I'm good at it, but I don't really know if I love it type of thing. Just pray. Like, God going to lead you on the right path. If it's for you, it's for you. If it's not, it's not. And just be true to yourself. Don't never switch up for nobody. Like he was saying with his music, people be like, oh, you don't sound like no LA rapper. He could have been like, all right, well, maybe if I sound like a LA rapper, they're going to like me more. Nah. Keep doing you. Like, it's gonna get there for sure.
Yeah.
Thing. You gonna go through losses. It's just about how you gonna go from that and make that into a like a not a win, but just progress from it. Cause you could get a loss and you could let that bring you down, or you could go through something like that and use it as motivation to keep going. And like you said, keep God, because I'm big on God. I grew up on that. Grew up in the church. So just keep God first, and he gonna take you where you're supposed to go, because everything happened for a reason. But use what you go through as motivation, and as an artist, be you. Like, don't be somebody you're not, because that's when you're gonna get lost in the sauce, and really, like, you're gonna portray this, and people gonna see you and like, hold on, that's not bro at all. So just be you, and that's gonna take you the farthest for sure.
One thing for an up-and-coming athlete, stay patient. Everything that's supposed to come to you will come to you. God is gonna put you in the right situation. That's the one thing that I got mixed up. My brother always told me, just be patient. Everything's gonna happen for you. And I was trying to rush it, and eventually I was like, man, it's whatever. If it comes, it comes. And a couple months later, I blew up. So that's the big thing when I tell people, talk to young athletes, like, not everything's gonna happen for you in a matter of seconds. Just stay patient.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. I would say, have fun. Whatever you're doing, have fun in your craft, because I know what it's like to do something and it turns into a business, but without the fun. Like, it's your job, it's your job to, you may feel like you have a business, but I'm sure that it's fun for you. It's fun being able to make your own combinations, stuff like that. It's fun to go out there and compete against others. It's fun to make music. You feel free. Have fun with whatever you do and be innovative. Be different. Don't be afraid to step out your comfort zone. Don't be afraid to try something new. Not everybody's going to like it. Not everybody's going to understand it, but once you get to the top, that's all the explanation you need. But yeah, that's the end of episode 4. We back. We back, baby. We out.